Jon Anik, hardest working man on the broadcast tonight. Thanks for joining us up here for a little post-show banter. And like, what did you notice from Merab, up front, octagon side, that leads to having a new bantamweight champion?
Well, in some parts, shades of Bilal Muhammad against Leon Edwards. These guys who come into the championship setting for the first time, and they are totally unfazed by the atmosphere. I remember being in Manchester. Bilal's in the inspection zone, and he's looking like he's just going to get a cup of coffee. And I think for Merab, he said to Joe Rogan after the fact, he can do 20 hard fives like this. And Colby Covington's a guy who said when he was on a soccer field at 8 years old, he knew he had that third lung. This guy might have 5 lungs. There's no comp in the whole sport.
And on his walkout was crazy. I was like, he's too happy to be here. He's too happy to be here. And he wasn't too happy.
Yeah.
Got down to business right away, didn't he?
Yeah, it was very interesting. And Merab as an athlete is very special. I mean, just by example, you get a group of guys together that weigh the same. Whoever's going to win the pull-up contest is not going to win the 10K foot race. Not very often. Merab might win them both. He might be the strongest guy who has the best cardio. It's very rare. I know only one other athlete like that. His name is Jordan Burroughs from the world of wrestling. And I just share it because I think we did maybe underestimate what Merab could do. The fight game, by the way, guys, is all about analogies. Everybody will just give you an analogy, but it's very helpful. And when I coach, I do the same thing. And my analogy for this, it's so much like a dance. Only one person can lead at a time. But generally, it's kind of like basketball where you'll trade back and forth. One team comes down, you hand the other guy the ball. They push back. Merab never gave up the lead, and O'Malley never took it from him. Sean O'Malley was on defense all night, guys. And it's just very hard to win a fight only on defense. I've never seen Sean do that before. I don't fault him for it. I credit Merab.
First, I want to give credit to Merab because of what Atlas said, which is that high-low thing that he does, the feint. And we saw him do it versus Aldo, so we have to give credit to it now. And what it does is he gets you thinking about the takedown so much that he gets your hands right here, and you're just trying to hit your down block to get your arms under the underhooks of Dvalishvili. But now you're not throwing any punches. He did this to O'Malley, and I believe that's what set him on his back foot and set him behind each round. But if we're talking about O'Malley, this is also part of being champion is people have hours and hours of tape on you now. You've been there for a while. How many injuries do you have because you're trying to stay at the top of the division against the best fighters on earth? This is only the 4th ranked fighter he's fought. And so now he's going to be facing all the ranked fighters in the UFC at 135 pounds. And, who knows how he came into this? Maybe he was a little bit hurt. How do we know something wasn't hurt coming into this? He hasn't talked about it yet. I'm sure we'll hear from him, but this is part of being champion is you come into these fights hurt, and he looked a little bit flatter than he did against Aljo. So we'll see.
Yeah, he said he was healthy coming in, but largely I subscribe to a lot of what Anthony Lionheart-Smith was saying about Sean O'Malley as a good and an active grappler, but he's a striker. And a lot of these guys in this division have been salivating at the opportunity to employ their wrestling and their grappling against him. And the first guy, stylistically, who a lot of people felt like could be his kryptonite, dominated him for the better part of 25 minutes.
Well, yeah. I mean, for O'Malley, I thought he did a great job staying measured. I had it 2-1 after 3, right? And just like, okay, O'Malley's kind of conserving, and he's got a home run punch left in him, and Merab just kept running away with it. You said, Dom, on the pre-show, round 1 will tell the whole story. And as soon as Merab got that takedown late in round 1, you said, that's the fight.
I really believe that if Merab could get the takedown early on O'Malley, I thought O'Malley had the best chance of knocking him out in the first 2-3 rounds. And if Merab could get ahead on the takedowns early, it was going to take power away from O'Malley so he couldn't land that big shot that he needed. Well, one thing O'Malley did well is at the end of the fight, he started throwing those teep kicks, but it was too little, too late. He should have started earlier with that. Those were very powerful weapons. But Merab had a perfect fight. You have to give credit to the way that he fought. He kept him on his back foot. Like I cannot stress enough how hard it is to fight somebody who shoots as much as Dvalishvili because you have to defend the takedown. So your hands drop, and you can't let your hands go. Once you're done defending the takedown, now you want to throw, but you got to get your air back. So you end up always one step behind, and that's what makes Merab special. That's why he's the machine.
Dominic, I'll come back to you as we look at the top 5 of the bantamweight division, the new top 5 with Merab Dvalishvili becoming the champion. And you were saying at the end, this is great for the division that you compete in and that you were once the champion of. Merab and Umar Nurmagomedov figures to be next.
It's so exciting for me as a former champion in this division to watch how it's grown. It's the most watched division in the world, I believe, right now. O'Malley right now is doing amazing. I mean, that's my opinion. I'm a little biased, but at the same time, people are watching. You were just talking about the gate just 5 minutes ago.
I love the bantamweights. You just said it's the most watched division. Those guys weigh 20 pounds less than me. I'm just saying. I'm
Dude,
just saying.
you
It's not
are
the most watched
you're
division.
a
I love you.
119-pounder right now, Anik. Chill out. Bottom line is, when you watch these guys, the division has shot up. Everybody's watching it because of O'Malley. Everybody's watching it because of these guys. And now with Merab shaking that up, I mean, this is going to explode everything.
Tom's got me thinking on this 135. He makes a good point. Listen, it's got more world champions than anybody. Garbrandt comes to mind. Peter Young comes to mind. Dom, Henry Cejudo, Figueiredo's in the weight class. Sean O'Malley's now a former champion. I mean, not for nothing, this is Murderer's Row. I do like the idea of Nurmagomedov next, but I also wonder what's next for O'Malley. Typically in this sport, if you lose a fight, you'll be matched up with somebody else that lost a fight. Well, not so fast. O'Malley versus Figueiredo makes a lot of sense to me. O'Malley and Sandhagen, you could do the losses. I'm just sharing for you. I'm not going to, by the way, go off the table before we get this Arizona triangle figured out between Dom, Cejudo, and O'Malley. It's time to settle this beef, in my opinion.
I was just going to say,
it might not be better than ever. Yeah, but in all fairness, I try not to put him over. He's sitting right here. Maybe he gets mad, you know. But I'm just sharing for you.
I'm an old guy. These guys want to fight the old guy.
That's right.
Take the
Let's
easy
get
fight,
this
right?
round robin.
I'm an easy fight, right?
Arizona's only so big, Anik.
That is the truth. You know, I think as Dominick Cruz's
really small.
dear friend, I would love to see him get another crack at Henry Cejudo. I think
Same.
Corey Sandhagen and Sean O'Malley makes a lot of sense.
I agree. I
But
think Sandhagen earned that.
it's very exciting for me to think about Umar Nurmagomedov, given what he did against Corey Sandhagen, getting this opportunity against Merab Dvalishvili. But I do find the more fascinating storyline here after the fact to be the Sean O'Malley rebuild, because there aren't a lot of easy outs at 135 pounds. And if Corey Sandhagen is next, it's a significant challenge for Sean on the rebuild.
Next on the post show, El Nino at the rooftop nearby. What do you think should be next for both Sean O'Malley, but start with Merab Dvalishvili, the champ?
I believe Umar's next. I mean, the fight between Sandhagen and Umar was the title contention fight right there, and Umar did such an amazing job. Sandhagen did such a great job. It was chess out there with the striking, the distance management, the wrestling scrambles. Oh my goodness, it was so exciting. To see Merab versus Umar wrestling and scrambling would be excellent. And Sandhagen, man, I feel so crushed for him because I believe he was so close to that title shot. To fight someone like Sean O'Malley, I think that would be great because it gives him a lot more star power if he gets the win, and I think the striking matchup will be great as well. And then give Sean O'Malley a chance to prove, man, you know what, my grappling's better than we saw this last fight right here. So that's how I see it going.
Yeah, I hate to steal everybody's points, but I completely agree with Gil. I think that the Umar Nurmagomedov fight is interesting for me because I would love to see Merab challenged in the wrestling department when someone's shooting on him and see how he's going to defend takedowns, how his gas tank holds up from his back a little bit would be fun to watch. And I think Umar, I think he deserves it. In terms of the O'Malley, Sandhagen is it for me. I think the dynamic matchup that is a lot of fun. It's a matchup I've always wanted to see. That's why I wanted Sandhagen to beat Umar. Not because I have anything against Umar. I wanted to see O'Malley versus Sandhagen.
All right, it's an 11-fight win streak for the UFC Bantamweight champion Merab Dvalishvili. April of 2018 was his last loss, and you mentioned, John, on the broadcast briefly, you know, some circumstances around that. That was the funky technical decision submission against Ricky Simon. Before that, it was a split decision against Frankie Saenz. We could be talking about an undefeated UFC fighter in Merab Dvalishvili, who's the champ. Hats off to him one more time.
It's absolutely incredible. And he's not the first fighter who started 0-2 in the UFC to fight for the championship. Irene Aldana, I think, most recently. But what else can you say, right? Hard work, dedication, understanding how to win fights, fight IQ. We don't even talk about what he got done in the striking realm, right? Not unlike Bilal Muhammad. These guys can strike too. It's going to be tough for Umar and everybody else to dethrone this guy.